So I know there's a lot of people among you who are swimming against the stream. They're believing things, doing things that not everybody does. Their actions or their beliefs are different from most of the people. Now, experience teaches me that when it comes to food, and particularly when it comes to meat, it is very hard to go against the stream, especially for men. We love meat very much. We are very much invested in meat. Let's face it, most of you probably are stakeholders. So, for the people who are interested to do something about the problems with meat, who know about the problems, there's some good news. Because we have interesting substitutes, but actually you haven't seen nothing yet. I'm here to tell you something about the great new things that are coming. This is Patrick Brown. I met him 5 years ago. He's a Stanford University chemist, world-renowned. And when I met him, he was just leaving Stanford University to commit himself entirely to a new startup. And this startup was offered just last month $300 million by this little company, Google. But Patrick didn't want to sell. He just went on developing his product together with his team at, and that's what his company is called, Impossible Foods. And Impossible Foods wants to make the ideal veggie burger. And they're very close. They're very close to making a product that is indistinguishable from meat. Right now, it is actually so real that it actually bleeds from the heat iron in the vegetables. This is Josh Tetrick. And Josh has amassed millions of dollars in Silicon Valley from people like Bill Gates and others to move us beyond eggs. He realized that the billions of layer hens in the world have a cruel life and are not sustainable. And he wants to make products without eggs, with new technology. Or take these guys, Mr. Pandya and Mr. Gandhi. And they're trying to develop animal-free milk. It's not just like soy milk or almond milk, but it's real milk, chemically and nutritionally identical to cow's milk. Can you imagine what kind of disruption that would be? Identical to cow's milk, except for the moo-free. And this is, maybe you remember him from 5 years ago, Mark Post, who was in the news internationally for creating the first lab-grown burger, in vitro meat. That meat cost $250,000 right then, that burger. But he believes that we can get it to market in 5 to 7 years. Maybe some of you think this is like a pretty nasty idea, but I can promise you, if you look at the slaughterhouse, that's a lot more nasty. And this is Anders Forjax. It's not just about food. This guy is making leather in a lab. Real leather, cell grown in a lab. So what's happening, maybe in the future, is that the products we all love so much, or at least you, I don't, like meat, eggs, dairy, and even shoes, that we can have them still, but without the animals. And why is that important? That's important for several reasons. Meat and animal products in general are related to a lot of problems. And that's why I call meat a wonderful problem. It's a wonderful problem because it carries within it the seeds of so many solutions. If we tackle that, we can tackle so many things. Take, for instance, the environment. 1 kilogram of beef requires 15,000 liters of water, and meat is the #1 cause of rainforest destruction. That same 1 kilogram of beef, if it comes from Brazil, causes the same greenhouse gas emissions as a car trip from here to Rome. 1 car trip. And today still, it's criminal, but it still happens. 20,000 people a day are dying from hunger. And at the same time, we are feeding 1/3 of all grain to animals. And when we do that, we can feed less people than when we feed a cow and then eat the cow. It's not efficient to feed that food to the animals. Maybe you know also that meat and animal products increase the risk of diseases like cancer, obesity, diabetes, heart disease. And those are costs that the community, the society will not be able to afford. So we have to work on prevention. Maybe you never wondered how many animals you eat in your lifetime. I can tell you as a Belgian, if you're a Belgian who has average meat-eating habit consumption, by the time you're 80 and you're dead, you will have eaten 1,800 entire animals. So that's 10 small farms for each of you. Where is this taking us? This is the present meat consumption. And this is what we expect by 2050, mainly because countries like India and China are getting richer, and richer countries tend to increase their meat consumption. So we cannot just sit around and do nothing. So I want you to do something. I have been a vegan, not eating any animal products for 17 years, and I'm still standing here. I'm not dead. But maybe you don't want to go that far, at least not right away. So I suggest you have at least one veggie day on Thursday or a meatless Monday. You can have more of those veggie days. Maybe you can be a weekday vegetarian. You eat vegetarian in the week, and then in the weekend, you can have whatever you want. Or maybe you can be a vegan before 6 p.m. There's all kinds of ways to make a difference. In any case, you're going to join the millions of people who are eating differently. And those millions of people together will tip the system. They will tip a system that is cruel, that is environmentally unfriendly, that is unfair, and that is unhealthy. And along the way, you will discover the beauty and the lightness and the freshness and the color of plant-based cuisine. And before you know it, we will have a world where the eating of animals is just a dark memory. And I hope that you want to be part of that dream that's coming every day closer. Thank you very much.